What we're looking at today on Onshape is how to import images in the most reliable way possible as sketches. That way we don't need to trace around them manually and recreate someone's already perfect work. So first up, the best thing to do is choose a suitable image. How do we do that? First of all, what we're going to look for here is just an example, and I'm going to type in Irish silhouette. So God knows what we're going to appear here. And what I'm going to do is go to images. Next up, I want to go to tools, and once you hit tools there, what you'll see appear is just a ribbon below here. There's two things on that ribbon you want to change. First up is size. You want to make the image as large as possible, which means it will be as good a quality as possible. The bigger the image is, the better the quality, which means you'll have smooth lines rather than these clunky Minecraft type pixelated images. Next up, we want to hit color because we want no background on the color. So if you want no background on your image, you want to hit transparent. So we're going to hit transparent there. And then we're just going to choose an image of any of these. No idea what that's got to do with Ireland, but we're going to choose the first one here. By hitting the first one here, I can see that the background is white, but over here on the right hand side, it's got these check marks. So what are all those check marks about? What that is it's Google's way of telling you that it's got no background. If you see those check marks, however, in your previews over here, it means that it is a fake PNG. So you got to be careful about what image you choose. If you see those check marks here, don't use that image. But if you don't see them here and you do see them after clicking over here, then you're in a good place. So how do we convert that into a drawing? Well, what we want to do is open up a program called Photopea. Now, there's many places online that you could convert these images, but I've found Photopea a really reliable way of doing so. So I'm going to drag and drop this image here into Photopea, and what I want to do is I want to convert this image here from being a pixelated image, which means just like a mosaic piece of art, into a mathematical drawing. Okay, what we call a vector. So if you go up to images here in the top and go down to vectorized bitmap, what you'll find is that the image gets converted from being a pixelated image, and we can see this as we zoom in here on the left hand side. You've got pixelated image, but on the right hand side you got these smooth lines. Now what you do lose here in doing this is some of the exactness, some of the quality perhaps of it kind of makes up lines, doesn't it? But for the most part, when you zoom out, it's still a much better image. And what's really cool about this is that it's scalable. So it means that you can make this as big as you want and the quality won't be any different from what you see here. Likewise, you could make it as small as you want. But all we got to do in order to be happy with our vector is reduce the colors to 2. While it looks like there's only 2 colors at the moment, being black and transparent, which the computer counts as a color, there might be more colors in it. When you zoom in, there are some grays in there. Okay, so what you have to do is get rid of those grays and tell the computer there's only 2 colors there. So once you hit 2, you want to press OK. This might take a second, but once it loads, what you'll see is a blue outline now existing around your drawing. So that blue outline there, that is essentially the graphic that we're going to be taking out and bringing into Onshape, the drawing essentially. So we want to leave the black part on there, so make sure you've got the color in it before you export. But we're going to go up to File, hit Export As, and then go to SVG. Okay, there is a DXF output, but unfortunately Photopea isn't great at DXFs. It always gives me an error, so I would avoid it if possible, basically. So we're going to go to SVG, and this will take a second because this image again is quite large at the moment. But what we're going to do is, because the image is so large, if we were to import this into Onshape, it would slow our program down. So at this point here, I'm going to choose to make this image much smaller. And as I said already, as we make the image smaller, since we've changed to a vector, the quality is not lost. It doesn't get pixelated. So just on this drop down here, we're going to go down to millimeters because that's what I work in on Onshape. And we're going to go to 10 millimeters. It's going to be super small. Obviously way smaller than I'd probably want it in reality, but I can always scale it up in Onshape later. What this ensures is that it'll be really quick to bring in, to import into Onshape. So I've scaled it down, and up here in the top left you can see my image. I'm going to hit save there, and now you can see it's saved to my top left. So what do I want to do now? Top right, sorry. What do I want to do now? What I want to do is go to SVG, to DXF. So we're going to Google SVG to DXF, and you'll find a load of these online free converters, and we can just choose any of those and drag your file into it. Okay, we've got to convert the image to a DXF. Unfortunately, Onshape does not work with SVGs. If it did, it'd be heaven, but unfortunately we've got to convert these first of all. So we brought it in, we've hit convert, and now it's ready for download. It's quite a small image because we just compressed it down, so it should be quite quick. Once it's downloaded as a DXF, what I want to do is go into Onshape here, hit this import button at the bottom left, hit import again, and we've got to bring this image in here. So I'm going to select that DXF, press open, close these notifications once it's uploaded. So it's still saying upload in progress. There we go, upload complete. And now I want to choose what surface to sketch on. So say I want to sketch on this base here at the bottom. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to press new sketch. I'm going to look straight at the image, or straight at the plane that I'm drawing on here. Now, up top, what you'll see once you're in a sketch is insert DXF at the top. So once you're happy with the sketch or with the plane you're sketching on, what you want to do is hit that DXF, choose which DXF you want to draw. Unfortunately, this isn't loading here, this preview, but I know it is that one, so I'm going to press OK. And what you'll notice now is that the image gets imported. You don't get a choice of where it goes, but you can still choose where to put it. So what I did there was I dragged my mouse around the whole selection, and now I'm waiting for the computer to load because there's loads of little nodes in there. It's still quite a heavy image for the computer to load. So I've selected the whole thing, and what I want to do is transform it. If you can't see transform there, it's most likely in a drop down just behind linear pattern. So hit transform, and what you'll see then is like this triad. So you've got an up arrow, and that'll also bring it down, and you've got a right arrow and a left arrow. Well, the right will also bring you left. You could also rotate the image. So say I wanted to rotate it a little bit, and this diagonal button here, well, that one there, that one scales the image up or down. In this case, we want to scale the image well up. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this back into the center, and just a little trick here, by the way, on this dialog box, you can of course change it in if you wanted to bring that image up or down by a certain measurement, but you could also hover your mouse above that box, and with the wheel of your mouse you could scroll up or down, and what that will do is it will increase it by 1 millimeter at a time. So if you want to be super exact and a smooth movement, that's the best way probably. So once you're happy with your image, and I am there, well, I might drag it a little bit to the right. Once you're happy with the image though, you're going to left click on your mouse, and that will fix the changes. Okay, so our changes are fixed into position. What do I want to do next? I want to extrude that in this case, and this time I'm going to extrude this, but I want it engraved into the surface. So I'm going to set it to be like a 1 millimeter depth, and up here at the top I'm going to press, instead of add, which would basically create an embossment, it's lifted off the surface, I want to remove it from the surface. What do I want to merge it to? Well, it's automatically selected in my case, but if it hasn't, then you want to hit merge down here and remove it. The only thing that it's not doing at the moment is it's not going the right direction. Now this is still taking quite a time to load, so I've clicked there and I've changed it back downward. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to press the green button there to get out of that. So that there is how you take an image and you bring it into Onshape. Okay, thanks for watching.